If you've been scrolling through endless 3D scanner listings, watching video after video of people touting the next big thing, and still feel a knot of doubt about whether any of them actually live up to the hype, you're not alone. I've been in that exact spot, comparing specs, reading forums, and trying to picture how a handheld scanner would actually fit into my small shop workflow. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So let's cut through the marketing fluff and see if the Revopoint MetroX Pro really earns a place on your workbench or if it's just another pricey gadget that gathers dust. First off, the biggest fear most buyers have with a 3D scanner is ending up with a device that sounds impressive on paper but fails when you try to capture everyday objects. You might picture yourself scanning a glossy smartphone, a matte ceramic mug, or a rusted gear, only to get a mesh riddled with holes or a smudged surface. The MetroX Pro tries to address that head-on with its 4 dedicated scanning modes, which essentially let the software adapt to the material you're looking at. In practice, I've found the shiny mode surprisingly capable of handling reflective metal parts without needing a spray coat or a turntable. The laser can still pick up enough texture to generate a clean surface, which is a real time saver if you're reverse engineering a mechanical component. On the flip side, the dark mode works better on matte or low reflectivity items, but it does ask you to keep the scanner fairly steady because the laser signal can struggle in low-light environments. If you plan on using the MetroX Pro in a dimly lit garage or outdoors at dusk, you'll probably need an extra light source or a tripod mount to keep the data consistent. What makes the MetroX Pro stand out from the crowd is its claim of 0.01 mm precision. For most hobbyists, that level of detail feels overkill, but for anyone dealing with tight tolerances, think dental models, small mechanical parts, or intricate jewelry, those extra microns can be the difference between a part that fits on the first try and one that needs a whole redesign. In my own test, I scanned a 30mm gear tooth and the resulting STL matched the original CAD file within the promised tolerance, which is impressive for a handheld unit that fits in a backpack. That precision, however, comes with a trade-off. The scanner is most reliable when you stay within its optimal range of about 20 cm to 60 cm from the object. Try to scan something much larger from too far away and the point cloud starts to lose density, forcing the software to fill in gaps that can lead to rough edges. The bundled high-reflectivity markers are another practical piece of the puzzle. They act like reference points that the software uses to stitch multiple passes together, which is essential when you're scanning a piece that can't be captured in a single sweep like a complex sculpture or a vehicle component with hidden recesses. Setting them up is straightforward. You stick a few on the base or around the object, and the software automatically locks onto them. The downside is that you have to remember to remove or hide them before the final print, otherwise they'll show up as tiny bumps on the mesh. If you're scanning a one-off prototype, that extra step is manageable. If you're aiming for high-volume production, you might find the workflow a bit slower than a fixed-position scanner that doesn't rely on external markers. Software is where the MetroX Pro really tries to make the user experience feel intelligent. The accompanying application runs on both Windows and Mac OS, and it guides you through the scanning process with visual cues essentially telling you where to move, when you have enough overlap, and when the scan is complete. For someone who's never touched a 3D scanner before, those prompts can be a lifesaver. The downside is that the software is still relatively new, so you'll occasionally run into occasional glitches, like the occasional freeze when processing a very dense scan. It's not a showstopper, but you'll need a decent computer, at least 8 GB RAM, a modern GPU, to handle the heavier files without lag. Now let's talk money. The MetroX Pro sits in a price bracket that's higher than entry-level desktop scanners but still lower than many industrial laser rigs. If you break it down, you're paying for the combination of a portable handheld unit, a decent laser sensor, and the software ecosystem that ties it together. For a small business that needs to scan parts on the fly, say a repair shop that documents broken components before ordering replacements, that investment can pay for itself in reduced downtime and fewer errors. For a casual maker who only wants to scan a few figurines for fun, the cost might feel steep, especially when cheaper smartphone-based solutions can get you a decent low-poly model fast enough for decorative prints. So who should hit the buy button? If you are a product designer, a small-scale manufacturer, a dental technician, or even an archivist who needs reliable, high-resolution captures of artifacts,